What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Ty's Book Nook. And today, well, right now I'm sitting outside of my hair appointment, getting my first retwist of the year. But while I'm at the appointment, of course, I bring my Kindle and I'm going to be reading When You Fell in Love by Aubrey Penn. And this is book 2 to Remember the Time. I read that during Thanksgiving. If you haven't watched that video, go watch that one. But this is book 2, and I'm gonna start that today. Today is January 2nd, so we're starting that book, and I'm excited to read this one. Like I said, book 2 for Aubrey Penn. Remember the Time was a short, so it was only like 6 chapters. This book, I believe, is also a short. Let me see. I believe there are maybe, let me check, I think there are 10 chapters. Like, it's still a short book, or maybe 20. There are 20 chapters, so like not as long but not as short. So let's get started. It is now January 7th. It's been a minute. I've only read the prologue, chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm gonna get back to reading today, but it's been a lot going on. It's really not been a lot going on, but this book, like, well, the last book has a trigger warning, and like I remembered it, but I also like didn't really remember it. And I'm assuming because I just started book 2, I probably skipped past the trigger warning for this one, so I wasn't really ready for like the details of what happened with Yandi and JR. So I took a little pause on reading, but I'm gonna get back to it. But these chapters, they were good. I'm not gonna lie, they were good chapters. I just don't think I was ready for the detail of what happened between them, because like in the last book, like she gave the trigger warning and said, like, you know, it is a trigger warning, but like it wasn't really detailed. It wasn't really detailed in the last book about what happened. Like, we know what happened to her, like we knew what it was, but we didn't know the actual details. Now this book, we actually get the details of like play by play about how it happened, what he did, and all of that. So I was like, I had paused on reading, but I'm gonna get back to reading today. So far it was good. Like the prologue, it pretty much talked about Kimberly and how Kimberly ended up inviting Kendrick to Thanksgiving, and then like it then also goes to like chapter 1 and 2 and all, kind of goes into like what's been happening with Yandi since, you know, Kendrick walked out on Thanksgiving. So like what happened during Christmas, New Year's, and all that. We find out some past stuff with, like I said, with JR and Yandi, and then also pretty much the friendship between JR and Kendrick. I don't know though, the way like they are friends, but Kendrick already seems to be like annoyed with JR, because JR is supposed to be getting married, and like Kendrick keeps correcting him on how to speak to women even though he's about to get married. There's a guy named Quincy that popped up at New Year's that I was like, oh, which I think he might be the key to getting Kendrick and Yandi back together. I don't know yet. That's what I'm thinking, that he might be a puzzle piece and them being reunited. Kimberly was disinvited to the other holiday, so she wasn't able to come back for Christmas or none of that. They is not playing with Kimberly right now. What else happened? Oh, Kendrick has been moping around his family, so his family is like, you pretty much, his sister is being a big sister, like, you, that was just a dumb idea of just showing up at that girl house. Like, you really have to come with a plan. Kendrick said he got a plan to get Yandi back, but we don't know what that plan is just yet. I think that's what we're kind of going into with chapter 5, so I'm gonna continue reading. I'm literally starting back up today. So the book is actually not that long, but that detailing of what happened between Yandi and JR really did throw me. But I'm back to it, and I'm gonna continue reading. All right, I have read chapters 5 to 12, and this is where the book is picking up. We're getting through all the nitty-gritty. I done made it through I was already saying something was up with JR because we already know what JR did to Yandi. But now we figure out JR been stealing from Kendrick as well. And everything just hit the fan. We also find out mom, dad really don't like JR. They just been putting up with it because, you know, that's that. But Kendrick's family has also been missing Yandi. So when she finally comes back after this scheme that Todd set up, aka Kendrick and Yandi, everything has hit the fan. They are back to like better terms, I would say. Like Yandi is starting to fall into, okay, me and Kendrick back together, even though she was already feeling that. We already know that. She was just in denial about what happened. But book is getting good, hard to put down. I like that. So I'm about to start chapters 13. I'm probably gonna finish the book for sure, because I think it's only like 20 chapters. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish it. But so far so good. After the whole hiccup, I didn't read the trigger warning, but I'm really enjoying it. But I'm just keep saying trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning if you decide to read it on your own. But I'm gonna continue to read it.
All right, it has been a long time. Literally, this is my final update on When You Fell in Love, book 2, Kendrick and Yandi's story. And I know I'm pretty sure I started reading this book in the beginning of the year, January. It is now February, almost March. Like March is in 2 weeks. And I don't know, for some reason I just went through a reading slump. Like it was just, I wasn't reading. I was having a hard time reading in bed, and that's typically where I read at, is when I'm laying in bed. But I don't know what happened. I just couldn't read. Like I couldn't do the physical book, the Kindle, or nothing. So I was listening to audiobooks, but as most of you probably know, all the audiobooks that I have are books that I've read already. I just want to hear the audio and see the tone and everything. So, but I have been listening to audiobooks. I listened to Plus Size Player, Curvy Girl Summer. I had read those already, but like I said, I wanted to just listen to the books. I listened to Can't Get Enough again. Love that book. But back to When We Fell in Love. And I don't know where I left off at, but I know I finished the book. So towards the end, I will say though, I did like the book, like once I finally finished it. And I will give it 3 stars. And I will say I'm giving it the 3 stars. I don't know, it's probably because of my reading slump, but I still really enjoyed the book. It was still spicy, of course. I still really enjoyed it. Towards the end though is where I like when books are like realistic in the ending, but I also like where like people still get their fairy tale, because you know that's why you read romance. So I like that in this book. Kimberly comes back at the end, and of course she causing mess, and it was no kumbaya, oh we're gonna, no, it was none of that. And I was like, yes, because Kimberly should have been slapped. I mean, well, they alluded to her getting beat up, but it wasn't that much detail. But in my mind, if I'm making a story up, they put hands and feet on Kimberly. But the book was good. I would definitely say the book was good. Kendrick as a book boyfriend, he ain't on my top 5, but he good on the list. Very attentive. I feel like why he's so low is because it took him 4 years to go back and get his girl. 4 years was way too long. Granted, he was planning the whole time about what he was gonna do, but 4 years way too long. Oh, they got re-pregnant, so they having a rainbow baby. Amen. But yeah, I enjoyed this book. I'm actually about to start reading Capone, Jaquel J, so that's going to be next on my list. Hopefully now that I'm back in my reading mode, we gonna continue this, because I still got to get to my reading goal by the end of the year. But thank you for watching this video. Sorry that it's so late. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment in below. Tell me if you read this book. Let me know your thoughts on this book, because this is part of the the Thanksgiving book that I read. So like they go together as book 2. I don't know if it's another book, because it would make sense if it's another one, but I haven't seen it. But please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. See you in the next one.